Good morning, producer Neil.
Good morning.
Do you know, someone came up to me last week and they said, where's producer Neil? in a nightclub, this was. And I said, oh, he's not here. And they said, oh, I wanted to hear his catchphrase. Does that make you happy?
Makes me a little bit scared.
Does it? Yeah. Yeah, he did. He was pretty psychotic.
No, it's more the assumption that me and you are always together.
Oh, right. No, he was carrying a copy of Catcher in the Rye. No. So we had a week off last week.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think so.
What did you get up to? You've moved house, haven't you?
Yeah, I moved house, so I have. I bought a crowbar.
You bought a crowbar?
Which is so exciting.
For a reason, or just in case of mad fans breaking in?
No, just to break stuff and help with renovation.
So if you got is it like is the house a project? I don't mean like in the projects. I mean is it an effort that you've got to change stuff to it?
Not massively, but I just wanted an excuse to buy a crowbar if I'm honest.
Not what?
Not massively.
Massively.
It's just got it just needs new carpets.
New carpets.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So you're a practical man?
I've surprised myself with my skills of demolition.
With your crowbar?
With my crowbar, yeah.
So how much is a crowbar? I've never bought a crowbar. It's one of those purchases you only need to make once in your life, isn't it? It's never going to wear out.
Very true, very true. It was only £10.
Blimey.
Yeah.
This is probably the most inane chat XFM has ever heard, but I'm enjoying it.
Wait till next week. I'm buying an axe.
Are you?
Yeah.
God, you're going to be tooled up. Are you one of those people that thinks the New World Order's going to take over the world? You're also going to buy 38 tins of beans. Well, I'm glad. Why are you buying an axe?
Because in the house we've got a wood-burning fire, so I need it.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. Oh. So where are you living? In the countryside now?
No, in Reading Town Centre.
Reading Town Centre. But, yeah. Fair enough. Oh, that's nice. Well, keep us informed if you're buying any more items over the next week. So I can see a feature coming on. Text or tweet us in at XFM or 83936 if you think there's any dangerous items that Neil should have in the house where he'll have his new baby in just a couple of weeks. I mean, don't keep them on a high shelf, because then if they fall off, it's disaster.
That's true.
Keep them under lock and key, Neil.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Miles Kane, better than that. This is XFM on Saturday morning. This is Josh Widdicombe, joined as always by producer Neil, who now the public can be cruel, can't they, Neil? In this era of social media, you can get abuse. You've already come under fire for the new practical Neil. For people at home, he's currently wearing a pair of overalls. So what you just said you've got 2 tweets or texts already correcting you on your life skills?
But yeah, 2 people have texted in because I just said I'm really happy because I've got a crowbar.
Yeah.
Which I think all 30-year-olds need. But
I don't think you should be kind of prompting the country to arm themselves.
All right, but Mark in Macclesfield has said a crowbar is called a jimmy by the professionals.
Yeah, well, we've already established you're not a professional, so Mark, come on, move on.
Okay.
No one's. I mean, is Mark showing off? What kind of? When he says professionals, I don't think crowbarring is or jimmying, unless you're a professional thief.
He might be in the demolition business.
He might be in the demolition business. I think he's. Well, I'm not. Look, if there's been a spate of window breaking in the Macclesfield area, then I think there's only one. That's how you check if someone's is a burglar. So what's this? If they say Jimmy, you go right down. You're doing porridge, mate.
And then I said I was going to buy an axe this week because I've got a wood-burning fire. And Ivan in Sydenham said, "Can you tell Neil all fires are wood-burning?" Which isn't true.
Which isn't true again.
No.
Coal.
Gas fire.
God, it's unbelievable. People just like to have a go at you. You've got off to a really bad start this morning. It's unfair, I think. But I think it's because you came across so alpha in the first link. People wanted to challenge you. Yeah. Now, there's 2 things I want to talk about this morning. Neil's has he got a third one in?
No, someone, Broad Shizzle on Twitter suggested I get a flamethrower.
Well, as long as it's wood burning, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Now, there's 2 subjects we want to talk about this morning. Because in my time off, I had to be on antibiotics. The excitement when you're deciding whether you should drink on them is unmatchable, and I went for it and it was fine. So, but that isn't advice.
No,
that's not advice. Don't drink on antibiotics. Don't buy a crowbar. What we're creating at home is just kind of drugged up, weapons-fueled XFM listeners. If we don't play the Red Hot Chili Peppers, we're going to be in serious trouble by 11 a.m. I was given lots of conflicting advice on because I had quite a bad ulcer on my tongue due to exhaustion and stress. Yeah, it's quite a difficult job I've got. And so you get everyone's got their own advice. Wash with salt and water is the classic. A lot of people, and then I went to a dentist. They said you can't do that. That will be the end of your tongue, basically. I want what I'm looking for is the worst piece of medical advice you've ever been given by a friend. Because I ended up having to use teething powder that my friend had recommended that didn't work at all. So she had a small child, and it turns out that doesn't work on a 30-year-old man, with or without crowbar. So worst medical advice you've had from a friend or anyone?
Yeah.
Acquaintance, enemy. Also, I know there's no reason for this. We just thought it's the kind of thing we talk about. Worst assembly you ever sat through at school? That. If that doesn't set the Twitter alight, then I'm going to hang up my microphone, because that is exactly the kind of thing we should be talking about on this show. Happy with those, Neil?
Very happy.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
I'm going stereo by Stereograss? Supergrass. That would be a kind of meeting of Stereolab and Supergrass. There's a comedy club in London that plays that before the show, and then like uses the applause to try and create an atmosphere at the end of it. I wish that wasn't true, but it is. Now, Neil, we were talking about two topics, and I rudely, as always, didn't ask you, as has become tradition. So I shall. Number one, would you like to choose one, or would you like to lead on?
So what are the two topics again?
Worst assembly you've ever had to sit through, and worst medical advice you've had from a friend.
I'll go for medical advice, please, Josh.
Okay. I feel like that was like some kind of quiz show. It was like the final round of Pointless. So far away, medical advice.
It was at school, and I was playing cricket in PE with my best mate Sam, and we ran into one another, and his bat...
Bad running. What, you two batsmen?
Yeah, two batsmen. So we were...
It's run either side of the wicket, think it through.
It wasn't that professional, and
Were you batting, or were you up the... non-striker's end?
I was batting, and we needed one to win off two balls.
Oh,
yeah.
Where did you play the ball?
I just hit it, mate.
Just hit it?
I don't know exactly. But anyway, so...
That's what makes English cricket great.
It went for more than... We knew we were going to do more than one run, so we were going to win. But we ran into each other on the way back.
Oh.
And it was only when I looked down, my little finger was facing outwards and the wrong direction.
Oh, my word. I don't like this at all.
So I told Sam, and he went, you want to see a teacher?
Well, that is good advice. And did the teacher put it back into place?
He attempted to, and then he went, no, that's definitely broken as well.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie, I nearly passed out from the pain.
Oh, my word. Did you win?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, silver lining.
Yeah, well, silver lining. I don't like that. I mean, we don't want things that are going to make me feel uncomfortable in my own skin.
I can go further if you want.
No. No, to move on to assembly.
The worst assembly I ever had to sit through was...
It better not involve a dislocated finger.
No, a guy...
Sat down on my hand, and my finger went the wrong way. And they said, you need to see a vicar. It's the kind of people you have in assemblies.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, it's just... There was nothing topicality that bad, but the worst assembly ever was a guy I walked to school with had stepped into dog poo, and I had to sit there and smell it through the whole thing. Yeah.
Your school days are so bleak. Where were they?
School days? Oh, in Solihull, just outside Birmingham.
Yeah, so bleak. Yeah. I thought there was going to be a redeeming feature there, but then even the location.
Lovely part of town.
Lovely part of the world. A lovely part of Scotland where you're apparently from. I feel quite sad for you. But did you've dusted yourself off. Did you get, how many GCSEs did you get?
I think I've got 9.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse.
What's wrong with that?
But you've made it now, Neil. You're here.
Well.
How is your finger?
Well, I can show you there. Ben.
Oh, it goes in is that a cricketing injury?
Yeah, well, I've broken my finger, so see, look, yeah.
Why have you broken your other fingers?
I just always hit them with crowbars and stuff like that.
What a life you lead. If you want to text in, not if you lead a kind of life like Neil, because we don't just want tales of woe. Then we'll save that for James Acaster in the final hour.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Now, anyone that thinks the show is lowbrow and lacking in stardust needs to listen now, because while we do talk about Neil's woes as an alpha male, we've also got a literary corner, which we're joined now by Matthew Crosby. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Now 2 weeks ago, you decided our show needed some stardust sprinkled on it by reading us an excerpt from your favourite book, Shane Ritchie's autobiography, Rag to Riches.
Yes, Rags to Ritchie.
Rags to Ritchie, sorry. I mean, I didn't even...
Rags to Ritchie doesn't really work as a pun, does it?
No, it doesn't. If anything, I mean, the publisher will go, I'm not sure we're going to pay the huge advance that we did promise you here, Shane, if that's the quality you're turning out.
Yes, that's right. I read from Shane Ritchie's autobiography to sprinkle a little glitter onto your tawdry show.
So, and what are you, how are you going to follow that now?
Well, I thought,
Week 2.
Obviously Ritchie, pretty famous, but I'm going to push it even further this week. This is someone who's he's been there, he's come back, he's been round the houses many times. It's Gary Barlow.
Oh yes, in the news.
What do you think? He's in the news as always because of X Factor and his new album. But what do you think his book is called? Now, bear in mind you couldn't even remember the title of Shane Ritchie's.
Is it Rags to Barlow?
It is indeed, yeah. Rags to Gary.
Oh wait, Neil's got a guess.
Is it How Barlow Can You Go?
How Barlow Can You Go?
I like that. No, it isn't that, and it isn't Gary on up the charts, which is what I would have called it.
Yeah.
It is, of course, My Take.
Oh,
you see,
not
great, really.
Not really. No, really poor.
And also, it's sort of well. Here's the thing: it's quite a sad book because basically, it's the whole book is about his competition with Robbie Williams. And at one point, he tries to evaluate who's had the better life. And this is genuinely from page 268. I'll read just this one sentence before I read you the section I wanted to read. Rob said he spent 2 weeks in his flat without going out once because everywhere he went, people gawped at him. Maybe he'd won in the career stakes, but I was the one with the Oyster card.
Oh, yes! Amazing. Zone 1 to 6. I was the one with the Oyster card.
If that isn't a piece of accidental partridge...
that is unbelievable.
Imagine if you see your mate becoming increasingly famous and just look wistfully at your wallet and go, he hasn't got one of these.
Well, no, I made it when I turn to you and I go, Matthew, I can't use this anymore. Do you want a spare Oyster card? So what section are you going to read us from Gary Barlow's My Take?
I'm going to read from the chapter The Grand Tour, a section that is, it should be subtitled Bag Full of Heads. And the thing you should understand about Gary Barlow is he's a very boring man, so he doesn't understand what are the interesting details of a story. Like when he talks about how he initially sold cassettes of himself singing, rather than telling you the songs that were on it, he tells you the TDK cassette, which he bought from Dixon's for $7.99. So here we go. This is Bag Full of Heads. Just before starting rehearsals for the tour, we were in the dressing room before going live, when Nigel produced not so much a rabbit out of a hat as some dolls' heads from a bag. What the heck are they? Said someone. I've changed the word. They, lads, are the new heads to the Take That dolls, said Nigel proudly. He went on to explain, and this is classic Gary, he went on to explain that he had done a deal and we would get money from every doll that was sold through a licensing agreement. Yeah, that's kind of how business works, Gary. I think Rob spoke for the rest of us when he said, it looks heckle like me. Change the words. We were sat around having our dinner before the show, not quite believing what we were seeing. It's all downhill from here, said Jay dolefully. Everyone in the catering room, crew, band and us collapsed with laughter. Here's a good line from Jay, in all fairness.
Oh, wow.
Rob's doll had a bit of a mishap as he plunged it headfirst into a huge bowl of trifle. Apparently the gig's happening like in some sort of 1970s sitcom. There's a giant bowl of trifle there. But this is the saddest part, and this is the bit I'll end with here. When I got home after the tour, I decided to take a trip to Toys R Us in Chester to see if they had any of the Take That dolls. Dressed in my regulation pop star sunglasses and a baseball hat, I slipped into the store and started looking around. No dolls in sight. I decided to ask someone, excuse me, where are the, Take That dolls? Oh, them. They're down the back. Follow me. I'll show you. We finally got to the Take That dolls piled high in another part of the store. but there wasn't one of me as far as I could see. Blimey, I thought. They must have sold out. Local boy makes good. Have you got any Gary Barlows left, I asked. Well, no, we haven't, she said. You see, you have to buy a Mark, a Howard, a Jason, and a Robbie doll, then you collect the coupons and get a Gary Barlow doll for free. What? I was on the phone to Nigel the instant I got home. Nigel, what's this about the Gary Barlow dolls being free? Oh, poor old Gary.
Oh, that is a story of woe.
He was so excited about the licensing agreement, and he's not going to see a penny out of that licensing agreement. It's so sad, but then again, he does have an Oyster card.
Thank you, Matthew. I feel we've not just kind of stretched our literary muscles, but we've really learnt a lot about Gary Barlow. We will see you next week. Thank you very much.
See you next week.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM.
Jake Bug on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe on a Saturday morning, joined by Sean Walsh. Good morning.
Hello, mate.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good. Now we have the two winners, Neil, don't we? You picked them at random?
Yes,
Sorry,
we do.
you didn't think you were going to have to speak then.
Sorry.
You're too busy twiddling knobs. I'll stop talking to you. The winners are Andrew Halliwell and Lucy with no surname. But if you're Lucy with... Don't just claim you've won if you're Lucy. We've got their numbers.
Yeah, I'll be calling you back after the show.
So no cheating, guys. There is another chance to win at the end of the hour with Sean. So how are you, Sean?
Yeah. I did some weights this morning.
You did some weights?
I know.
What time? It doesn't show.
8 o'clock. No, I know.
I saw you last night and I'm seeing you this morning and you look very similar. You were saying that you bought the Jake Bug album.
Yeah.
I felt a bit... Was it a...
Well, I liked that song that you just played.
Yeah.
And I thought, I really like that. I'm gonna gamble. I'm just gonna buy the album.
I'm going to gamble and spend £8. Life's going all right.
Well, you know, like 11 songs. How many? There's not many good albums, is there, where you listen to all the songs?
Yeah, no.
I usually just listen to singles. I'm that lazy. And you only the greatest hits album. There are never any songs off the albums.
You what? No,
Like
that's the greatest hits.
I meant best of.
Oh, right, yeah.
Best of.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I looked him up on Wikipedia and he was like 17. I thought, I'm listening to a 17-year-old's like views on how I feel about love. Well, I'm not having this. I'm not having this in the bath. You know,
So what did you go for? We put on some Rod Stewart. Somebody knew what...
I'm Rod Stewart, exactly.
Yeah. This is a man that knows what it's like.
But do you know what I mean? I can't listen to... No, in fact, I mean, if you're 17, you're listening to me, and obviously you're probably not happy with what I'm saying, but imagine it in my position. Imagine you're 17 and you have to listen to a 6-year-old sing about...
It's like, what's that about? Is there a band called The Stripes?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Are they like 16?
16, 17 from Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've got nothing to... They can't tell me, you know...
Exactly.
What it's like. They can't even drink. If they are...
smoke.
Or smoke.
Like, do you know what the law is now with smoking? It's you can smoke at 16, but you can't buy them.
Is that
Is
fact?
that right?
I think so.
So is that why you've been buying cigarettes for teenagers?
Yeah.
You set up a little business to pay for your albums. Well, Sean, you're here partly to promote we're doing DVD records on Thursday at Hammersmith Apollo.
Yeah, mainly just to hang out, mate.
Mainly just to hang out, yeah. It's that kind of professionalism that means we're giving tickets away on the radio. Are you nervous?
Am I nervous? I'm still not. I know I should have done, but I've still not really thought about it. I know it's bad.
You really should write some jokes, mate.
I know. I think I'm just going to do some new stuff. Jam with the crowd, see what happens.
Please do come though, people. Please do come.
Oh, I mean, I'm begging you. Please, don't make us do it in the foyer. Please don't make us do it in the foyer. We have to be like one of those Edinburgh gigs, where the comic takes the crowd outside. Like at the Edinburgh Festival, for those that haven't been, sometimes comedians will do something wacky, take the audience outside. Just do the gig outside in the rain, because I'm crazy.
And we'll be doing that. People are going, why is there 20 people on the pavement in Hammersmith?
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe, still joined by Sean Walsh. Good morning.
Good morning.
And, well, I know it's still morning. Blimey, I was about to say it's afternoon. It's been a long morning. we'll talk about two things today. One is worst medical advice you've been given by a friend. The other is worst assembly you had to sit through at school.
Yeah.
Any bad assembly experiences?
I remember when I was at secondary school, the head teacher took the assembly and sort of started reporting that someone had, well, it's not funny, someone had stoned a seagull to death. and I cried. I cried, I was so upset.
Oh my word!
Imagine that. Some 13-year-olds.
So why did he report
13-year-olds
it?
listening to Jake Buggs stoning a seagull. Yeah.
So why did he report? Was he saying who did this?
No, he was sort of saying, you know, who did this, you know, you will be punished. I was really upset.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did he point out that you were crying?
No.
Why cry baby at the back? Come on, man up.
Have you ever? I once cried when I was younger. I once cried when there was a news report that a policeman had been murdered. I used to cry a lot if people had been.
When you were, yeah, well, fair enough. It was death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Turns out when you were young, you thought death was quite a big deal. Now you've got older, you can deal with it.
Yeah.
Because we had after the Princess Diana situation, we had an assembly about that.
You didn't cry?
No, I didn't cry.
Oh, right.
But our teacher, Mr. Bish, sung a song. We didn't even know he could play the guitar, and he sung a song as we were leaving.
Was it Candle in the Wind?
No. I mean, wait. He reworded Candle in the Wind, and someone stole it off him. It was unbelievable.
Dirty Diana? Is that a song?
No. But
what did I mean?
But it was called something like "I'm Bored." Right? I remember this.
Right.
And we all had to leave while he was singing this song.
Well, he was singing the song.
Yeah, he was like, they were like, and now to play us out, Mr. Bish, with "I'm Bored." And then he kind of got his acoustic guitar out and played it. Have I misremembered this?
I wasn't there, mate.
Hang on,
No.
what's that? Sorry.
If any of you went to South Dartmoor Community College in the year 1997, September 1997, have I misremembered this? We also used to have a chaplain that came in and used large props as metaphors for religion.
Oh, so that's
And
where
his
you got your act from.
His final assembly had a canoe. Just tell us about a canoe. There's no need to bring one in. Were you a religious school now?
No, nothing religious happened at my school.
No?
No.
Except hanging out with you, which is a pretty religious experience. Did you have any medical advice?
Can I just clarify, what song was I thinking of when I said Dirty Diana? The Michael Jackson one?
Yeah, he did the song called Dirty Diana.
Oh, right, yeah, that's what... Yeah.
This is like suddenly turned into like being at an old folks' home.
Yeah, a really bad episode of Nevermind the Buzzsaw. What did you ask me?
The medical advice.
Oh, well, it's just drink water, isn't it? That's what really annoys
That's
me.
good advice.
That's all it is. Whatever problem you have, just make sure you drink lots of water. Oh, obviously. I'm not going to get on it.
My issue is I'm drowning.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
The final hour, as always, joined by James Acaster. Hello, James.
Morning.
Cut you off there, James. Before we get into you, I just need to announce the competition results. The winners of the tickets are Verity and Craig.
Yes, that's to see Sean and you.
To see Sean and me. And as a bit of a bonus on that, Verity also tweeted again to say, I saw James Acaster at the Conservative Club in Goring by Sea last night.
Oh, my. And for that, you've won an extra 600 tickets.
I mean, there's a...
How was the
if there's ever a more depressing moment in my life, it's when my two mates are going, doing the Apollo. Saw James Acaster at the Conservative Club in Goring last night.
At least you didn't have to give tickets away for the Conservative Club in Goring by Sea. James, you've had a big week.
Big week. Goring Conservative Club.
No, I mean, tell you know what I'm angling at.
I know what you're getting at. It's the best
You met
thing that's ever happened
Wiggfield.
to you. Yeah, Wiggfield. If anyone doesn't remember Wiggfield, she did the pop hit Saturday Night in the early 90s? No, probably mid-90s.
It knocked Love Is All Around by Wet off number 1 when it was going for the record.
Knocked is a bit of a soft... Smashed it off of the top spot.
Yeah, so how was it?
It's amazing. She's my friend now on Facebook. I'm Facebook friends with a childhood hero. So I never thought that would
So
happen.
why you met her 'cause you did Nevermind the Buzzcocks?
Nevermind the Buzzcocks. She was in the lineup, and you had to, if you haven't seen Nevermind the Buzzcocks, there's a lineup of 5 people, and you have to say which one is the pop star of yesteryear.
You must have got it straight away, didn't you?
Yeah, I looked right at her and went, "There's Whigfield." Everyone else, well,
Sadly, they were looking for one of TLC. So it's really awkward.
They're looking for Gina G. I always used to get her mixed up with Gina G.
Did you?
Yeah. What was Gina G's one?
Well, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Eurovision.
similar, right? Ooh, Saturday night. I like a bit of mixing.
More Sean Walsh mashups coming up later.
XFM, the mashup station. So you met Wiggers.
Well, I didn't
call her
really
Wiggers?
get to meet her. I had to interrogate her during the lineup bit.
Yeah.
And had a bit of back and forth, but then she had to rush off and go to her brother's birthday meal in London. So she told the runners that I should add her on Facebook as a friend. And I thought, well, that's clearly a joke. She's not going to accept me as a friend on Facebook.
So did you just type Whigfield into Facebook and there she was?
I typed Whigfield in, and then her page came up which said Whigfield, and then in brackets, Sanny Carlson. That's her real name.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens when you get into
that
show
away?
business.
Don't give that away.
Sorry,
Ruin
everyone.
the magic.
Her real name is Whigfield. It's all she gets known by.
She's like a Brazilian footballer. She's only got one name.
And and so I found her personal page. Added her. She approved that request in seconds. Straight up, she's probably still at her brother's birthday meal, checking her phone relentlessly to see if James Acaster would.
So when did you add her? On the night?
I think the next day. I played it cool, mate.
Yeah.
Played it cool. Leave her waiting.
So then have you had a bit of a tete-a-tete with Wiggers?
Yeah, I said, because basically I had to do a dance at her at one point. And this is the Saturday night dance, but I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously. I did the Macarena.
Remember, you didn't have to do that. That was your choice.
That was my choice. Should probably point that out. It was. Well, I was kind of. To be
Noel
honest, I was-
Fielding got out a gun and said, "Do the dance."
John Hannah twisted my arm, if I'm honest. John Hannah was the host. He's just going around to me. New competition. If you know who John Hannah is, you win tickets to my next show at the Goring Conservative Club.
Even IMDb doesn't know. No idea.
It comes up with. If you just fill it out like Wikipedia.
So as an end to the story, how have things been left with you and Wiggers?
She said that she liked my dance and that, then she invited me to like her page Whigfield. I liked it. I invited her to like my page James Acaster. That request is pending. At the moment, she is playing quite the game.
So let's put out an appeal. Whigfield, if you're listening, please like James's page because
She's not still going, is she?
She is. She's actually still quite big in Denmark. She's got a new album
What's
out.
she doing all the other days?
And times a day. I think she's now on Sunday afternoon.
her album's like that Craig David song.
Whole
So
career.
Whigfield, tweet in at XFM or text us 83936 if you want to get in touch with James.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Now, Whigfield update. For those that weren't listening, James Acaster this week has become friends with Whigfield. To an extent, Whigfield, if you don't remember, then you're probably not our target demographic, so I'm not going to explain who she is.
Sanny Carlson. That's how I
Sanny
know.
Carlson.
That's how I know her these days. Not Whigfield.
And you'd liked her page on Facebook
Yep.
at her request, and she hadn't liked your page, but now...
She's liked my page. And I am in good company, Josh. She
What else
likes
does she
me, Pharrell Williams, and WSPA, which is the Danish RSPCA.
Is that her only 3 likes?
No, she likes a few other things I've never heard
Were you
of.
in Blurred Lines?
She likes Giovanni Gastel, Julio Posadas, and Stenhus Kostakoli. And she
Is that
likes
Inter Milan's
and
back
she
three?
likes Click to Dance, which is let's see what Click to Dance is. It's an Israel dance page. It says,
You're in great company.
it says Israel's dance hit station.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Whigfield doesn't like anything willy-nilly.
No.
Where are you going to take it from here?
I don't know. I mean, she also likes Andy Warhol and a band called Incognito. I think Well, I've invited her. She invited me.
Do you know why she likes Andy Warhol? Because his phrase best summed up her career. Everyone's famous for 15 minutes, James.
Very nice.
Bit harsh, isn't it? Bit harsh.
True though. True over here in England.
What?
It's true in England, not in Denmark.
All right, get over it. You and Whigfield.
Massive in Denmark, mate. Massive. Every night's a Saturday night in Denmark for Whigfield.
Okay, right, we'll move on, because I feel James has actually got very defensive over Whigfield.
Just like, she's really cool, and I don't like it when you get jealous of my new friend.
Now, one of the things we're talking about is a worst assembly sat through at school. And got some tweets, Kirsty in Exeter. See what you make of this. So it's not Whigfield related, so get off your high horse, James. We sat through an assembly about our deputy head stealing cigarette butts from the gutter 3 times during my school career.
What?
I don't even understand what's gone on there.
In an assembly?
We sat through an assembly about our deputy head stealing cigarette butts from the gutter 3 times during my school career.
So she had to sit through the same assembly 3 times?
I've got no idea.
I mean, if the deputy head's stealing cigarette butts from the school gutter, he should be sacked, shouldn't he?
But it's not stealing, is it? Anything out of the gutter is not stealing. That's helping yourself to rubbish. I mean...
That's what Whigfield thought when she became your friend.
I'd be angry if that wasn't so good.
I don't know, this is from That's For Sure. When we got a new head teacher in Year 6, we had an hour-and-a-half assembly about his surname.
What was his surname?
Well, do we know what his surname was, Neil?
2 seconds.
2 seconds?
We had a teacher called Mr. Tickell, but it was spelt Tickle.
Yeah.
And, the whole first lesson with him was all about that. Him just going, get it out your system now. Go on. Take your best shot. I've heard it all before.
His surname was Hodges.
Hodges?
Yeah.
Get out your system now. I don't know, that's...
Podgy Hodgy, go on. I've heard it all.
Sounds like Hedges.
Hodge Trimmer, go on. Benson and Hodges, come on. Go on, aim for the skull. I don't even care.
What's aim for the skull?
That's him taunting them.
Oh, right, it's not a Hodge reference.
That's not a Hodge reference. That's a character called Hodges. His catchphrase.
Now, James, you said you've got a scrape coming up that is based on assembly.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about it until you said it. Now it's an assembly.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
And we now move on to James Acaster's scrape. Beforehand, just one question we've had in, James. Did Mr. Tickle have very long arms?
No, he didn't have very long arms, but he'd heard that one before. That was one of the many hits.
Mr. Tickle is currently at home going, I thought I'd got rid of this. This is unbelievable.
There's also a family in my village who were called the Shoeflebums, but it was spelt Shufflebum. Good fun.
There you go. Great fun. Great fun. Now, your classic scrape, James, this week.
Assembly ones, because when I was in Year 7, we got to do, each form group got to do an assembly. Yeah. Put it on for the rest of the year. And the week before my form group did it, Mr. Martin's class did Shooting Stars as like a Shooting Stars thing, and it was hilarious. It was really funny.
So what, they played the parts of Shooting Stars?
Yeah, they just did a Shooting Stars style thing. Danny Andrews and Craig Buechner were Vic and Bob. They nailed it. Really, really good. Yeah. They even had a joke, a risky joke in it.
Oh, what was the risky joke?
But they got away with it.
Can't you say it?
I don't know if you can say... You probably can say, you can say pubes on air, can't you? Yeah.
It's too late now, James. We've been taken off air.
Just
pube gate.
XFM's been shut down. I can't believe this.
It's like Andrew Sachs.
I'm going to make an apology for saying pubes on the radio.
Comedian Acaster was seen leaving his home with I
did a joke about
no
pubes.
comment to the press about the pube gates incident.
But yeah, there's a pube joke about one of the teachers as well.
Oh!
One of the teachers' pubes.
Whoa.
But they made it.
So
they made the joke.
It was a tough thing to follow then.
So, you'd think... See, now, as an adult, I would think, oh no, I've got to follow that really good thing. That's really hard. As an 11-year-old, I was like... This is going to be so much fun.
Oh no!
Because they were great, so now we're going to be great.
Oh,
this is brilliant. I can't wait to do assembly next week.
Oh no!
Because assembly looks like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And so, because we'd seen them do a telly thing, our form group were instantly like, we want to do a telly show.
Yeah.
And Miss Hearn, our teacher, was like, well, what show do you want to do? And no one could agree. So eventually, she said, this is what you're going to do. one of you is going to be sitting in front of a television, channel flicking, and each time you flick onto a different channel, a different group perform a bit from that TV show. So it's going to work like that.
Not a bad idea.
So my group put together, and for any regular listeners to the show, it was the same group of people I did La 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 Humpty with. You listen to the podcast, you've got to put that in context.
La 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 Humpty.
Yeah, so our group were given...
Do you want to just sing us one verse of La La La?
La 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 Humpty.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. Get the impression it's La La Bumba, but Humpty Dumpty. We were given EastEnders.
Yeah.
To this day, I've never watched an episode of EastEnders, and I was very much the most motivated one in my group, so I had to write the whole thing, having not seen EastEnders. And as you can tell by my path in life, very much favour the comedy in life. So
you thought this is my chance to shine, show my skills?
I thought I can be really funny. I can be Danny Andrews and Craig Buechner in one.
Oh, no.
And I can be like the funniest kid ever. So my other team, they all knew what the characters in EastEnders, and they said at the minute there's a storyline with Ian Beale where he is an eco warrior. He's becoming like really green and stuff. I was like, great. Don't need to say any more.
Leave it with me.
What are the other characters in it? There's the Mitchells, isn't there? We'll have them in. They're the only ones I'd heard of, so we'll have them in it. So what we then performed in front of the class. So the whole year was in, and also this is year 7 where I'm still kind of like basically
still getting your act together. You're sort of not, you haven't found who you are as a comedian yet, but you're sort of working on it. Yeah. I know what you mean.
But I'm establishing myself in the school year as well. I'm trying to not be bullied for the rest of my secondary school life.
Yeah. So this is where it all started.
Yeah.
This is where the rot set in.
So this is where it started the downward spiral. Because our sketch was basically the Mitchell brothers are walking along.
Yeah.
And one of them drops Mars bar wrapper on the floor. Then I come out wearing a coat. I've got a big coat on. And I go, you two, pick that up. And they go, no. I go, I said pick it up. They go, what are you going to do about it? I went, what am I going to do about it? I went, yeah, what are you going to do about it? I said, nothing. But I tell you who will. And then I ran off stage. And then I ran back on and I'd got my coat, I'd taken my arms out the sleeves and done the popper up so it was like a cape.
Yeah, classic.
And then went, Eco Man will.
Wow.
I put my hands on my hips. I went, you messed with Eco Man and his sidekick, the bin bag. And then Joe Devlin, who was my friend, was wearing a bin bag.
I thought people would have guessed this was EastEnders.
I know what people were meant to think. The class were watching it in silence. The whole year were just silent watching this.
Well, at which point did you think I've misjudged this?
As soon as I said Eco Man, I put my hands on my hips.
When you said Eco Man, that's when it should have gone.
Natural cliffhanger. And also, I was not good at editing at that point, so this sketch went on for about 10 minutes.
So
10 minutes.
Did you take it?
It was loads of me. We ended up having like a comedy fight. Where I would like fake punch them and then they would go flying, and then one of them would come back, and every time I punched them I went Eco Man. I would just say Eco Man every time, and then the bin bag was just running round making little like Pingu type sounds all the time.
So what happened? How did it end?
At the end, the person had to just channel flick. So, like, when I won, and they were.
You think you pressed the button?
Well, the Mitchells were on a pile in the floor, and I put my foot up on them, and then my hands on my hips again, and was like that, with my coat just hanging down, just a silence, just the whole year, just staring at me.
Oh my word!
And then,
So afterwards, did anyone feed back?
Yep, I'd be walking around school, and kids would go past and either call me Eco Man or my alter ego Ian Beale.
You're just trying to get a job as a screenwriter, aren't you?
Yeah,
that's what you're doing here.
Yep. Well, the actual plays Ian Beale hasn't done much else besides EastEnders. I think he might be interested in with the Eco Man spin-off.
He'll be presenting the next episode of Never Mind the Buzzcocks.
Be there with his coat round his neck.
I used to do stand-up as a kid, at primary school when I lived in London. I used to do stand-up on my own in to quite a lot of people, probably bigger audiences than I get now, in the playground, and I'd do it, and it was loads of fun.
Did you have to give away tickets on your radio?
No, not back then. But loads of like basically all the girls in the school would watch this. They would sit and want to watch me, and it was like my favourite thing to do. And then I moved school, moved to Brighton, and I tried to do it again. I just got beaten up.
And rightly so. Thank you very much, guys. I mean, what a bleak existence. But who'd have thought one day that you would be Facebook friends with Whigfield, eh, James?
I had. If Sean had gone to my school, he would have got beaten up for littering. And we know who by.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Process Beats Kasabian. We're coming to the end now of the show. Just time to thank you both for being here. James, thank you.
My pleasure.
Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
That was thank you.
Sorry.
Makes me feel a lot better about the pubes thing earlier.
Neil's heart in his mouth as people thought Sean had sworn.
I've had enough.
Snap. Oh, James, before you go, you've got a chance to do any plugging you want to do?
Yep. Do we do the music behind it still? Is it just... I'm confused with the plugs. My tour is on sale. It starts in October. JamesAcaster.com for tickets. London date's just been added. Buzzcocks on Monday to see me and Whigfield. 10 o'clock. BBC
See where the fairy tale began.
Be nice if in the next episode they do like blind date and you get to go and see what happens.
Oh no, Sean, now you can either plug
Yep.
your DVD record, or you can have 30 seconds of Red Tribe, the Manchester United song you mentioned earlier from 1985.
Hit it, Neil.
Is this how you remembered it?
Yeah, I mean, I got the lyrics right as well. Like the Red Tribe, dude, there's no man that could stand in our way. That's enough, isn't it?
I believe that's still a hit with actual tribes in the in the Amazon and such. They always.
It's the first thing that David Moyes played when he got in the changing room.
Guys, I'm going to bring back the glory years. Hit play, Steve Bruce. Right, and I should plug, finally, that we will be recording our DVDs, me and Sean, at Hammersmith Apollo on Thursday, starting at 7:30. Please come along. It's too late now. If you don't want to, don't. We'd prefer you to not come along if you don't want to come along. Don't just come along and sit there and not enjoy it.
Yes.
Worst plug ever.
Yeah, that was awful. I mean, even I don't want to go now.
No one ever outlines, if you don't want to come, don't come.
Yeah.
What?
No one ever needs to outline that. Anyone who doesn't want to come.
No, all I'm outlining is that, you know, there's freedom in this country, mate. You can do what you want.
It sounds like you're about to go into a song.
Yeah,
There's
and you know,
freedom within.
let's play a song and leave. Genuinely,
Josh, if you don't want to play a song, don't play a song.